this session. Here we go. And maybe we'll wait 30 more seconds and then we'll get started. On today's session, we're going to talk about closing. Of course, closing is very important. It's part of the selling process. But as you can see, closing is not just at the end of the selling process. It starts at the beginning, and we'll see that in a few minutes. And of course, we'll talk about client retention and referrals. It's not about just getting a client. It's about keeping the clients. It's about getting referral from the clients that we already have. This is a true success to a successful business. Some people are focused on leads all the time. Let's get leads, but it's not just about getting new clients. It's about taking care of your existing clients. This is a real true key to success. So welcome everyone. Let's get rolling right now. We have the slides, a quick double check. Here we go. We have the recordings. I'm double checking. I'm always okay. Here we go. Closing, client retention, and referral. The first thing I want to talk to you guys, closing. Why? Because closing is what you're supposed to do, right? The role of the salesperson is to always move forward in the selling process. You're not going to the office to do customer service. You're not going to the office. You're not going on the dock to chit chat with clients. You're not getting paid to chat with clients. You're getting paid to close, getting paid to move forward in the sales process. Of course, serve your clients, but you always need to move forward. And this is why closing is so important. Now, some people think that in sales, the close is everything. You see that on the Wolf of Wall Street. All he does is obsess about the close, the rejection, the objection, the close. But it's not this way. Actually, it is the other way around. Everything is the close. So what does that mean? Everything is a close. That means that the day you say hi to the clients, this is when the close starts. The day you shake your hand to the clients for the first time, this is when the close starts. And this is why you're going to see that our approach is much more organic and we're always trying to go forward in the sales process. That's where this professionalism of sellings come from. We're always going towards it's like professional player on the field. They don't just dribble the ball. They don't just play with the ball. They always have a goal in mind. They're always going forward. So this is the same for us in sales. So what I'm going to do to you, I have a little surprise. We are going to study different closes. And the good thing is we don't have too many of them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like 8, 9, I didn't count, but like less than 10 for sure. They're all super easy to remember. They're all very organic, very fluid, very simple to use. And I want you to learn them and I want you to use them on a daily basis. Because again, the close is not just writing, signing on the agreement. And no, you close every day, all the time. You're closing someone to send you an email back. You're closing someone to respond to your phone call. You're closing someone to get a sea trial. You're closing someone to get a survey. You close someone to have a visit. You close someone to sit down and talk about the numbers, talk about the options, and maybe you're always closing. That's why this is so important. So the first close that I want to share with you guys, I call it the perfect, I don't call it the perfect close. This is a sales trainer. I forgot his name. I bought his book. His book is called The Perfect Close. He wrote an entire book about this close. And this is how it works. Does it make sense too? Does it make sense to sit down and put together some numbers? Does it make sense to organize a survey? Does it make sense to schedule a deposit? Does it make sense to come for a sea trial? Does it make sense to come to the dealership? If they say yes, congratulations, you move forward in the sales process. If they say no, very calmly, you look at them and say, what will be the next step then? Very organic, but always going forward in the sales process. And you can use this perfect close several times during the sales. Does it make sense to see you and your wife next Saturday at the dealership? We have the boat that is just coming in this Friday. We'll clean it up a little bit. So next Saturday it should be ready. Yes, perfect. Now you're at the dealership. Does it make sense to organize a sea trial this afternoon? Does it make sense to organize a survey? Does it make sense to organize deposit? Or you can use it. Very simple to use. And if they say yes, congratulations, you move forward. If they say no, what will be the next step then? And sometimes they'll go backward. The next step is I just need to go back home and talk it again with my wife. It's totally fine. But you will always try to go forward in the sales process. The bridge close. That's our next close that I want to share with you. Very important. Why? I told you last week, what's the role of the salesperson? To bring them from the rational to the emotional, because they're going to make the decision in the emotional area of their brain. So how do you do this? Do you think it might be the right boat for you? Think rational. If they say yes, you say, why do you feel it is? You create this cognitive dissonance, you create this pattern interrupt, and you bring them in they're going to tell yourself why this is the right boat for them. They're going to close themselves on why this is the right boat for them. That's why I really like this close. Next, the assertive close. I like this one because also I don't really like the pushy salesperson. I still believe in pushing a little bit. This is a response, not pushing in the sense of like, hey, we're going to push them, but it's kind of like guiding them, right? Like we're going to take them by the hand and we're going to gently guide them forward towards where we're going. So this is your assertive close. Of course, I don't expect you to make a final decision after looking at the boat one time, in the crowded show, in the indoor light, in the heat of the boat show. But here is what our clients typically do. You can put a fully refundable deposit. We schedule a sea trial and some quiet time together after the show, and we can see from there. That seems fair enough. So what did I do here? Push-pull. I push them, but I kind of pull by saying, here's what our clients typically. So I use social proof, and clients will appreciate that because sometimes they like to be pushed, right? Like if you go to let's not call skydiving, but like, let's say you go jumping off a cliff with some friends. Sometimes they like your friend to push you, not push you in the sense like I'm going to push you, but like, yeah, you can do it. Go ahead. And then your friends tell you to go and then you jump and then oh, it was so good. I jumped. It's the same in sales. Sometimes you need to gently push the client forward. That's when you can use the assertive close. Assumption close. Let's go ahead and schedule a showing. Would early next week work for you, or is there a more convenient time? You see, here is what I do here. I didn't say, when are you available next week? Tuesday or Wednesday? This is manipulation because I put you in a corner. What I do is I say, let's go ahead. Let's do it together, hand by hand, and schedule a showing. Then I use the word would. Would early next week work for you? Or is there a more convenient time? I always give you the possibility. So it's much more organic, but it's also, I'm bringing you forward and I'm suggesting you that we go forward together. The humor close. Is this your new baby? So what's going to be the name? Remember, if you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't ask, you don't get. So I want you to ask, but I also want you to do it in a way that is organic. Sometimes take a little pause. Make a little joke. Oh, is this going to be a new baby? What's going to be the name? Right? Make a little joke. Humor is always going a long way in a sales scenario. I used to have a client very good selling boats. And when he was at the boat show, he was waiting on the dock. And then he was seeing some prospect that was coming towards him. And he was telling them like a little secret, like, don't forget the money is in the microwave. The money is in the microwave. When people were going on board the boat, and people were laughing. So always try to have the humor clause to just reduce the resistance, the pressure. Next, the space clause. This is very important. The space clause is very important. Sometimes what you're going to notice is that during boat show, a lot of salespeople are losing sales because they don't give space to people. just breathe around their neck. They're close from them all the time. And then because they don't have space, at the end of the day, the client say, well, thank you so much for your visit. We're going to go home and we're going to talk about it. Why they do that? Because you didn't give them the time to talk about it in person. So what I want you to do is I want you always give them a little bit of time. When you're at boat show, what you can do, you can be like, hey, I got to go to the office for like 5 minutes and I'll be back. Or, oh, if you don't mind, I have to give a quick phone call. I'm going to be back. I'm going to go see the captain and I'll be back. Leave them alone for a couple minutes. And you're going to pay attention to that too. The other day I was selling a boat. Last year I was selling actually my own boat. I had a little fishing boat that I was selling and it was stored in like a boat dealership, like some sort of storage maintenance facility for boats. So the clients, they come to buy the boat. And then they walk around the boat. The boat was like super nice conditions, so they liked it. And then suddenly they went on at the end of the parking lot. And I'm like, that's it. They're going to talk about it. They come back, they're going to make an offer, they're going to buy it. They just came back. They gave me the offer. It was a great offer. I'd say, sure. And that was it. But I knew there was a space clause. And if they didn't go on their own, I would have said, hey, I got to do something. I come back. Or I got to go to my car to pick up an extra key and I'll be back. And I knew because if I didn't do that, I would be like, okay, we'll go home, we'll think about it, and then I waste my time. So remember the space clause, very important. The ask clause. Again, you want to ask, right? If you don't ask, you don't get. To move things forward, we're going to need this. Would you choose this or that? Again, to move things forward, we're going to need this. Would you choose this for that? So to move things forward, we're going to need a deposit. Would a bank draft or a direct deposit works better for you? Would a bank draft or a check? Would a bank draft or a credit card? Or a bank wire? To move things forward, we're going to need a survey. Do you have a surveyor, or would you like me to suggest you a couple that we've been working with in the past that have been great? Right? So to move things forward, you're saying to move things forward. Don't say, do you want to pay? I don't like when people say it right away. Like, do you want to pay by wire or do you want to pay by deposit? Or do you want to pay by check? No. You have to put some context to reduce the pressure and be respectful. Like, remember, you're a guide. What does a guide do? Tells you where we're going. When you go to the jungle, the guide doesn't push you in the jungle, say, hey, go here. He say, okay, next we're going to go here. Go ahead, go forward. That's your role. That's why you say to move things forward, we're going to need this. Invitation clause. Based on what you're telling me, it seems that this boat would be a perfect match for your family. What do you think if we schedule a showing, a sea trial, so you can experience it for yourself? Just a chance to enjoy the experience. So I like this because, again, it shows that we're taking the whole context in for them. We're here to help them. So, and also based on what you're telling me. Hey, based on what you're telling me, it seems that this charter will be a perfect match for you. What do you think if we can schedule a time to maybe FaceTime, you know, the captain, or go to see the boat in person so you can experience it for yourself? And then we can see if we can have some availability to book it. So based on what you're telling me, I reassure you, and then I make the necessary arrangement to go forward. How to ask for the budget? Don't say, what's your budget? Because if you say, what's your budget, they're going to give you the smallest budget. If you want to buy a car between 50 to 60,000, and I ask you, what's your budget? You tell me 45,000. Now, if I say, let's imagine you could find a car of your dream today, what would your maximum budget possibly be? Maybe you tell me 65,000. So it's easier for you to work with 45,000 or 65,000? Just because you ask the question differently. Another way to ask a budget is to ask the range. What range make you more comfortable on the purchase price? Or it's more financing conversation? Then we don't even talk about the price, we just talk about finance. So you see these two ways that I ask for the budget. It's not just like, hey, how much budget do you have? How much do you want to spend? I've heard salesperson say, how much do you want to spend on a boat? Don't want to spend. You don't ask for the budget properly, you're not going to have the right numbers. How to sit down and talk numbers. Would you like to hear about boat show specials? Would you like to hear about boat show specials? What would you like to, what do you think will reduce more the resistance? Would you like to hear about boat show specials? Or do you want to sit down and look at the options? Sometimes the salesperson will be like, oh, I'm not comfortable asking, sit down and talk the option. And the client says, oh, no, we're just looking today. Today we're not in a position to. Would you like to hear about a boat special? They're not going to tell you no. And finally, I think this is to finish the listing close. My goal is to sell your boat for the highest price possible in the time frame the most acceptable to you. Does that sound good to you? My goal is to sell your boat for the highest price possible. Or sometimes I like to say, look, my goal is not to list your boat. My goal is to sell it. My goal is not to list your boat. My goal is to sell it. My goal is to sell your boat for the highest price possible in the time frame the most acceptable to you. Does that seem fair enough? Yes. So that was for closing. You see, not very much, not very many of them. I'll give you the replay. You can write them down. Maybe you'll have them on a piece of paper. And regularly, you just practice, review them. Use them on a regular basis. Every day, pretty much, you need to use this. You can use them by text. You can use them verbally. You can use them by phone. You can use them by email. Sorry. We had a hockey tournament for my kids, and I was yelling to cheer for my kids in the final, and I lost my voice a bit. Client retention and referrals. So now we're going to talk about retention and referrals. You have to focus on the person in front of you. Ask yourself, how can I serve this person so powerfully that they never forget the experience for the rest of their life? Remember this quote from Howard Schultz. We're not in the people business serving coffee. Sorry, we're not in the coffee business serving people. We're in the people business serving coffee. It's the same for us. We're in the people business. We're in the experience business. People are not buying a boat. They're buying an experience. And you really want to make sure that you share the best experience with them. So here's a great book that you should read. They sold over 1 million copies, called Raving Fan. It's one of the best books on customer service I have ever found. In the book, I really like the story about the taxi driver named Dennis, I think. And essentially, it's like a manager that is being mentored by this omniscient lady named, I forgot the name. Basically, it's like a voice talking to the manager, giving them the best customer service tip ever. And it's a really powerful book. That's why they sold 1 million copies. So, because when you're in sales, you're in the experience business. You're in the customer service business. You're not just in sales, right? You're in customer service. Another great book you can read, you should read, Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh. Tony Hsieh was a billionaire. He passed away, but he was a billionaire, and he created this company named Zappos. And one day they had the record for the longest customer service call, and it was 8 hours something. And the guy said, I just had a phone call for 8 hours. That was a company record. It's like, what were you talking about? Well, pretty much everything except selling shoes. Because the lady wasn't feeling good, and he just talked to the lady, right? And interest yourself. I mean, you're in the luxury business. You have to interest yourself about high-end service. I like to read about high-end service, like the story of the Four Seasons, the story of the Ritz-Carlton, the stories of the founder of Steve Wynn, those the Wynn hotels in Las Vegas. Like they have amazing customer stories. There's a lot of great material you can learn about high-end customer service because I believe that this is what we do in sales. And when we sell million-dollar boats, people expect high-end customer service. So the best things that I've found to make clients happy when it comes to customer service and when it comes to experience with clients is making a small gift. Small gift is by far what can make a biggest difference. Like a small gesture, right? Like it's not about making big gift, it's about making small gift. That makes a big difference. There is this great book that I read called Giftology, the Arts and Science of Using Gift to Cut Through the Noise. There is this entrepreneur in Vancouver named Brian Scudamore, and he built his $2 million, multi-million-dollar company using gift. Painting business, every time he finished painting, he was putting fresh flowers in the house. And for his moving company, every time they were going on their way to the house to pick up stuff, they would call the clients and say, hey, we are driving by Starbucks on our way to your house. What do you want? And people were just so impressed. People were just so impressed. Sometimes a Starbucks coffee can go a long way when people don't expect it. When people expect it, you don't really make a big difference. But when people don't expect it, this is when you make a difference. Like last time I went to my counselor, it was like a few years ago, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and I bring her a coffee. And she told me some things that really struck a chord to me. She said, oh, I've been in practice for 20 years. Nobody ever brought me a coffee. And I was like, wow, this is such a small gesture, like bringing a coffee. But like, I'm sure nobody bring coffee to doctor, for instance. If you go to the doctor or the dentist, I'm sure nobody bring coffee to them. But this is something small, like $5, that will make a big difference for them. So a few years ago, I was selling these boats, Falcon 90. And I'm going south of France. We have the survey, sea trial, and it's everything's going well. We're going to sell the boat. There is just a little survey and sea trial day, and the boat was in great condition. So we knew it was done deal. The family arrived, and we had the daughter, the boy, and the family. Really nice. We go for a sea trial. And the daughter, she sits in the stairs, in the pilot house, in the stairs. And it was kind of like showpiece. And she fell from the stairs and she hurt her back. And at that point, nothing mattered anymore about the boat. The family completely didn't care about the boat, of course, same as us. You know, we were really worrying about the girl. She had back pain. So what I do is I call our assistants at shore, our ladies are working with us, and I say, can you take 50 euro and you go buy a little gift for that girl? She just hurt her back. She goes, she buy something like this, like I don't remember exactly, some little, girl, little toys. And we come back to the harbor. The mood of the day was gone. It was just like the worst. And as soon as we see this lady, she gave the daughter the little gift. The daughter starts to have a huge smile. She starts to say she feels better. The family was so happy, started to lighten up. And the rest of the day was so smooth. And we saw the boat. And it was amazing. And I'm like, damn it, this little gift really changed the complete dynamic of that day. Could have been a bad day. Maybe they could have left. And this little gift really, really changed the dynamic of the day. And I've heard many stories like this, right? I have a student, he was selling a boat. Oh, let me show you this one. Student was selling a boat, and the family were looking for 3 boats. So they were looking for all the boats at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. It's the biggest boat show in the world. And they were finally deciding between 3 boats. They were like going back and forth between the 3 boats. And the broker sees the kids, and the kids were tired and stuff, and they were looking at the little aft cabin on the boat. And there were TV, and he's like, "Oh, you guys were gonna watch TV?" And they say, "No, we have a PlayStation." It's like, "Oh, so you're gonna play your PlayStation? What game you gonna play?" And they're like, "Oh, this game." It's like, "Oh, do you want new games?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's like, "Well, why don't you give me some name of 3 new games that you like to play? And if your parents buy the boat, I'll throw the 3 new games in the with you guys." Now, guess which boat do you think the family bought? Probably the kids drilled them to buy this boat, and they ended up buying this boat. So sometimes a small gift is going to make a huge difference. And I want you to remember, sometimes a small gesture that makes a big difference. For instance, this anniversary meal, I believe I showed with you before. Happy 1-year anniversary on the water. Not only you wish them an anniversary, you can give them a small gift, but you can also ask for a referral. So what kind of small gift? Let me give you an example. The best that I found in the boating industry is this book. I have one here. I have many actually. I always buy some. Blue Mind from Wallace J. Nichols. This book is the surprising science that shows that how being near, in, or underwater can make you happier, healthier, more connected, and better at what you do. This is essentially like a scientific proof that showed your clients that they have made an amazing investment by buying a boat. These are scientific case studies that show you that they have made an amazing investment working with you and buying a boat. This costs maybe 15 bucks on Amazon, and it's probably the best gift you can buy in the boating industry because you're just telling people, hey, congratulations, here's a scientific proof that you've made an amazing decision buying a boat from us. So it's not just buying gift from clients, it's keeping clients. You cannot afford to lose clients. If you lose 20% of your clients and the next year you need 30% more clients to grow 10%. You cannot afford to lose clients. So the best way to keep clients is to get more clients to use referrals. But the problem is 91% of customers says they give referrals, but only 11% of salespeople ask for referrals. So we have 3 types of referrals, and very few people know that. They just think there is 1 type of referral. No, there is 3 types. There is the passive referral. You get a call. Hey, you just sold the boat to John. I want you to help me. Hey, John told me he bought a boat from you. Can you help me and my wife buy the boat? That's a passive. You don't do anything. Active. You make a call. So John asked me to call you. So John comes to see you, say, thank you so much for helping me and my wife buy the boat. Here is a number of my friend Robert. Can you please call them and say that, you have been working with me to buy the boat. So this is active, like you have to do something. Someone comes to see you and they say, hey, call this guy. But there is something even better than active. And it's called orchestrated. It's you ask for it. You reach out to clients and ask if they know anyone. You're specific in your request. And I noticed that a lot of people don't want to ask. Even if you're selling a boat, you can ask them, hey, we're looking for referrals. We are always working with referrals. I would love to know if you know anybody that selling their boats. And sometimes the clients might tell you, oh, I have another boat, actually. I have another boat there. I have another boat. I'm planning to buy another boat. My friend, my brother. But if you don't ask, so I'm going to give you today a few emails you can use to be more active with referrals. Your referral could help someone find their boats. Hi, clients. I hope you're sailing well and loving your new boat. Wanted to reach out and see if you might know anyone who is looking to buy or sell a boat. Referral means a lot, and as a token of appreciation, I'd like to offer you, and you can give them something, gift card or something, an incentive for any successful referral. If you have someone in mind, please let me know. I'll be happy to reach out and offer my assistance. Thank you for your support. Now I'm going to give you different emails, but before I want to give you a general idea of 3 ways to ask for referrals. Number one, at the initial meeting. As soon as you start working with someone, okay, people tend to wait at the end of working with them to give referral, but you should do the other way around. You should ask at the beginning. I'm so excited for us to work together because you're going to buy or selling your boat. You're going to notice that many people are buying and selling their boats now. And just like when you buy a new car, you start to see it everywhere. Well, you're going to become hyper aware of people buying and selling boats. And I would love for you to think of me when you have a discussion with someone that wants to buy and sell. And I'll make sure I do a great job with them. So remember, at the beginning, not the end. And if you ask at the beginning, you can ask at the end. It's going to be easier for you to ask at the end because you ask at the beginning. I have 2 buyers looking for a Ferretti 650. Then ask for something specific. So I have 2 buyers looking for a Ferretti 650. Do you know anyone looking to sell a similar type of boat? You create a conversation leading to discussing if they have any friends who want to sell the boats. Sorry, I drink a lot because my throat is very dry. So here is an example. Hi, I hope everything is going great with your boat. I'm reaching out because I'm currently working with a couple buyers who are eager to find Sunseeker 52. I was wondering if you might know anyone who is thinking of selling the Manhattan 52 or any other recent cruising yacht in the 45 to 60 range. Be precise. Maybe I'll tell you, oh no, I only have a friend, he has a catamaran. Doesn't matter. Say, oh, we're also looking for catamaran, but be precise. Your recommendation will be incredibly valuable. If anyone comes to mind, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to follow up with them. Be precise. For instance, let's say you go into a marina and say, I'm going to go dock walking and see if anyone's looking to sell their boat. You know what you want to do? Take a piece of paper and you write down your buyers. So you write down Manhattan 52, and then you write John, and then you write like 3 cabin. Okay. And then you write Viking 48. Then you write Jano 45. You have your list. You write it down. And you have 10 to 12 buyers. And you go into the marina and you show that to people. Don't be like, hey, I have people looking to buy a boat. I mean, like, hey, I have an actual list of people. I'm walking around the marina here. We're looking for some specific boats, some clients. And I just want to make sure that your boat is not something we're looking for. That gives you legit reason. It makes you less like you're begging. But you have something physical in your hand. Like when you're more precise, you feel there is less resistance coming from people. Number 3, you can organize an appreciation event and give back to your network. So you want to do appreciation events. Like the number one, let's take like what's it called? The biggest marathon in the world is the New York Marathon. Do you know how many salesmen the New York Marathon have? 0. There's no salesman for the New York Marathon. Everybody wants to sign up because people participate to the event. They love it. They want to do it again. I ask my clients, where's the best way for you to sell your boat? They tell me event, event, event. When they do the rendezvous. So organize a rendezvous. Our friend, when Top Gun came, and client, they rent a theater, contact all our clients, say, hey, we're doing a private projection of Top Gun. I want you guys to invite your friend, your kids, and come. We have popcorn, we have pops. And he got 3 listings from that event. I don't remember how much he rented the small tier referral, but he got 3 listings from that event. Why? Because just when people, you show people you appreciate. So a few things about referrals and about appreciation and retention. Number one, forget about the win-win situation. And I told you that last week. It's 100% win for the other clients. We don't deal with customer, we deal with clients. So 100% win for them. Forget about the win-win. So you got to be service up, I give you, and then they'll give you back in return. Number two, go above and beyond. Don't just do like everybody else. Try to go above and beyond. Number three, you got to be patient. It's not because you're going to do an event tomorrow that you're going to get, all the sales tomorrow. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. You got to be patient. And number four, deepen relationship, which means like it's a format thing, right? Family, occupation, recreation, motivation, animals, and team. You have to know people you have to create deeper relationship with people for them to connect with you. And number five, reward them. Small gift or small gesture, or reward them if you get a referral, reward them appropriately. Those are the things you want to do if you want to grow when it comes to client retention. Now I'm going to share with you some email as promised. I'm quietly promoting, I love this one, I'm quietly promoting this new yacht. Hey, first name, I don't normally share listing like this when I put them live, but this one is coming on the market, it's going to sell fast. I want to give you an inside scoop. It's located here, and we're going to list it at around. You have anyone in your network that is looking for a boat like this? If so, just have email or call me and I'll get them the detail. Be sure to have them mention your name so I know they are your friends. Thanks. You see how personal this message is? Does that seem to you like a commercial message? No, it's not like a newsletter. It sounds like a scoop, like your friend calling you, say, oh, there's this new restaurant in town, you got to check it out. My friend went the other day, it was amazing. It feels like this. Another one that you can do that I didn't write here is a deal of the week. Deal of the week. Every week you can say, hey, here's a deal of the week. Here's a great boat located in your area this week. It can be your listing. Even if it's not your listing, you can still put it there. Don't put all the details. Say, hey, deal of the week this week, we got this boat, got a great price reduction. If you're looking for a boat like this, give me a call, I'll give you more details. You don't give all the details, but every week you can email them a short message, deal of the week. It can be short like this. They'll be like, hey, this client is always looking for deal of the week. Another one I like, who should I share this with? Hey, who should I share this with? As one of our VIP, I want to give you access to boat show tickets for next show. I know you're not selling anytime soon, but can you think of anyone in your network interested to buy and sell? What should I share it with directly? Let me know. Who should I share this? Conversation. Short, personal. Another one, a little bit longer. You can do kind of like a Q&A, more informal, like, hey, I'm going to have a Q&A. Both buying and selling, ask me anything. If you're thinking about buying or selling, not sure where to start, join us for a free exclusive webinar where we'll walk through the entire yacht buying process. Here's the details. Register now to secure your spot and gain valuable insight. Make sure your buying journey is smooth and successful. Feel free to share this invitation with friends and family who might be interested. Looking forward to seeing you there. Do you see how, like, every email that I try to share with you guys, it doesn't feel commercial. It doesn't feel like it's a newsletter because people don't want to read newsletter. It feels like a legal document, but people love private, simple message. Personal message. You know why people respond to text message? For 3 reasons. It's short, it's personal, it's expecting a reply. Make regular housing call. Pick up the phone for 15 minutes each day and call a customer and say, hey, how are things? How are things going? When was the last time you called your customer when you didn't have to? Just be like, hey, how are things? No specific reason why. Your customer is going to appreciate that. Makes them feel that you care. And that's what you want. Or you can leave a voicemail. Even better, leave a voicemail. Hey, no particular reason for my call today other than just making sure that everything is doing wonderful. I want to hear from you that you have amazing plan for the boating season. And if you have any change, I'll be happy to help you. You have an amazing day. Wow, this guy is nice. Just wish me. And if you call 10 people, usually maybe 6, 7 times, you might go on their voicemail. Instead of leaving no voicemail, which most people know voicemail, leave something like this. No particular reason for my call today, other than saying hello, making sure everything is doing wonderful. I hope you have a great plan for this boating season and you keep me posted and talk soon. So here is my client, Sean Fenneman. He's a top broker, allied marine. Sold 54 yachts last year. He makes around 150 million in sale per year. He's a beast. He's always #1 broker, allied marine. We were doing an exercise with a bunch of other students. It's called a gun to your head marketing. Imagine I put a gun to your head and I say, hey, if you don't give me the absolute best methods that you use to sell boats, I'll pull the trigger. It really makes you give you a mental exercise to think of what the best strategy you're using to sell boats. So it was his turn, and he said, your last client is your best client. What does that mean? It means exactly what we're looking at today, client retention. Sean said, for me, it's not about the next clients, it's about taking care of my existing clients. And I have these few families I've been taking care of now, and now, I'm just keep them, and my business keep growing because he keeps them, he doesn't lose them. Once in a while, I want you to send an email to your clients, not to promote a listing, not to tell them how awesome you are, not to tell them how amazing your company is, just to say thank you. Nothing else. Here's an example. First name. I just want to say I appreciate you. I was watching my inbox this morning, so many emails and newsletters promoting and selling their stuff, their business, their service, but rarely do they take the time to say thank you to the people they send their emails to. So today I want to say thank you. Thanks for being part of our community. Thanks for being sure. Thanks for sharing our passion for boating with you. Our mission is to inspire and help people change life through the passion of boating. Whatever your mission is, we're here to support you when you are, or you cannot put that if you want, and I say we are here when you are ready. Have a wonderful day. You see how nice it is, a message like this? You can send that once a year. People will really appreciate it. Another thing that I was doing is a Christmas email, like super short, from my family to yours. I want to wish you Merry Christmas. This one, super short, and I will get a lot of response because everybody will send those long email, and me, I will send the shortest email possible. I will be like, I'm going to send the shortest email as possible for Christmas. From my family to yours, I want to wish you an amazing Thanksgiving, VF. And I will get tons of response on a message like that because it's short, it's personal, it's expecting a reply. So when you talk to clients, I want you to remember the format: family, occupation, recreation, motivation, animal, and team. This is what you need to know about people. Format, right? Family, occupation, recreation, motivation, animal, and team. If I ask you the format of your best friend, you can respond to me. My best friend, I was on the phone for an hour with him yesterday. Family, he's got 2 kids. Occupation, he's a kinesiotherapist. Recreation, he likes to go fishing. Motivation, he likes to be on the water because he likes to spend time with his son. Animals, he's got 2 cats. And team, he likes rugby. That's my best friend. I know exactly because he's my best friend. Do you know that for your clients? right? Do you know that for your clients? You need to know that for your clients. And once you know that you're going to create bond, people like to go buying and shopping with their friends. People don't like being sold by a salesperson, right? So you are in the relationship business, but the relation comes before the ship. You are in the matchmaking business. You do a matchmaking of people with boats, matchmaking business. So relation come before the ship. Another student, really good. One of the top. I've been teaching Galati for a while now. It's like one of the top brokerage also in the United States. And one of the top performers named Jason. And I asked Jason, what's your best sell advice you can give me from your whole career? He said, if you can sell to your friends, then change friends. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, for instance, I went on a charter last summer. We were 5 friends on a charter. 3 of them I'm helping buy a boat right now. So he's like, I'm hanging out with the people I'm selling boats to. And this one, I think it's the last slide for today. Oh no, we have a few more. I asked Michael Bremen, I call him the Michael Jordan of boat sale. I asked him at the boat show in Miami, in Dubai, Mike, can you give me the best advice in sales from your whole career? Best sales advice. So we sit down, he's like, Vince, I don't sell boat. I help people buy them. It's about the people, it's not about the person. So this is what I want you to remember. It's about the people, it's not about the boat. And this is what we did today. We look at client retention, even closing. Closing wasn't about getting a signature, it was about taking care of the people. It was about guiding them forward. So it was about serving the people. And once you understand this, people are going to be attracted to you. People will want to do business with you more. So testimonial and social proof study have shown that only 14% of people trust advertising, yet 78% of the people trust their peers for recommendation. Like, this is crazy. Like today, when I buy something on Amazon, I'm not even reading the title anymore, this product description. I'm just directly buying by looking at reviews. Sometimes I'm buying books. I buy a lot of books. I don't even look at the title. I will just look at the reviews. Briefly look at the title, then based on the review, I'll be like, okay, I'll buy that. Then I'm like, what's the title again? I forgot because I didn't even pay attention to the title. I bought this whole thing based on the review. So reviews are very important. I really want you guys to focus on review. You have a lot of review, I think, because I've been looking at your website and you have a lot of good Google review, quite a few. So that's really good. But you constantly need to seek for more. So here's what you can do to get more review. You get this little Starbucks card, $10 card, $5, whatever you want, and you write a little thank you note by hand. Thanks again for doing business together. If you have a couple of minutes while enjoying your favorite coffee, I would be grateful if you could write a review here. It will mean a lot to us because so many of our customers relies on review nowadays to do business. Thanks. Can ask by text message. Thanks so much for letting me sell your boat. Please be sure to leave a review here. And you can put, if for any reason you feel like I did not provide a 5-star service, please let me know so I can make it right. So essentially, like if you don't want to leave a 5-star, you let me know. One thing that I did, I wanted to buy a lot of Starbucks cards because I was using them a lot. So I'm going to starbucksb2b.com and you can create your own card with your own logo and everything. And they ship you a stack of cards at home. So it's super convenient. So that was good. Okay, so now let's have some questions for today's session. I know we saw a lot today between the closing and the reviews and the client retention. So who will give us the owner to start. Vrit, any question?
Okay, thank you, Vincent. You can hear me okay?
Yes.
Now I'm just trying to think of some meaningful questions that's relevant to us. Often, um, we get a lot of response when people saying, yeah, they're still interested, but for some reason they're traveling or they're busy or whatever. And we know that a lot of time people, um, can conclude without meeting or seeing us again, or needing to see the boat. Is there any suggestions you can give us when people are actually like traveling, when we know they're busy but when we also know they're definitely interested? What kind of things could we engage them with, or what kind of tone can we uh, 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 do when they are like traveling or away, but at the same time we don't want them to lose the deal, and if the deal really
That's
is
great. Yeah, that's great.
whatever.
So when they are traveling, you have an opportunity is you have a little bit of extra time before they go home. You want to what you want to do is you want to surprise them. So what I would do is I would send them something at home. So when they come home from their travel, they have a handwritten card from you. I will send
Okay,
them a
yeah,
video, a bonbon video, a personal video. So, the day after they check their email and instead of having an email, they have a personal video from you.
okay, that's good. Can I also just expand the question further also?
Yes.
When so assume that we are talking to actual serious real client who generally are busy, but we know they are interested, and if we know that the boat that we are selling or that they are buying is about to be sold and there are some other interests going, and it's not just bluffing, any tips on how to broach that hey, if you don't move quickly, the boat will be sold or this new boat will be gone? It really is an opportunity, because maybe half the time people might be thinking, well, we're just trying to hurry them along by saying that there are other interested parties in this. Do we do screenshots? Do we do
Yeah,
anything? Can we? Yeah.
that's a great question. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this clause. Of course, I don't expect you to. Of course, I don't expect you to put an offer on the boat while you were traveling and you didn't have a chance to see the boat in person. But we have two-person interested in the deal now. So here is what I would suggest you if you don't want to miss it. Tomorrow I can go to the boat. I can secure some time. You and I can be can do a FaceTime together. So
Right, right.
so and then we can put deposit, schedule some time, and then fully refundable, right? Like you make it. I will use this clause. So of course I don't expect you to make a final decision while you're traveling. Now we have a couple parties interested in this boat. So here's what clients typically do when there is a time sensitive deal like this. We do a lot of deal online. You reassure them, say, we have a lot of clients that do a lot of deals online and we help them to close online. So here is what we can do. We can do a full showing. I can go to the boat, meet you. We can do a full Zoom call. I'll bring my phone, or we can do a VR meet with the camera system that I showed you guys last week. You can do a full walkthrough inside the boat on a video call with them and reassure them like this.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good one. Thank you. And just one final quick one. Sometimes they often say their decisions based on their wives or kids and whatever, and sometimes it's impossible to find the right time for the wives or kids to travel to see the boat, to this and that. Do you recommend that we also then do the same with the remote viewings and cameras and virtual tour with their wives and other decision makers if they really can't make it to the boat? Or is there anything we could say or do in relation, let's say, to the wife factor?
So here there's two things you can do. Number one, you can do it online. And number two, you can find a way that the wife and kids would be really excited to come and see the boat. right? Like if you can make it, and you guys need to think about it, but if you can find a way to make it, to give an experience that the kids will die to come and see the boat in person, because there is something for them. Or we have a surprise for the kids. We have usually, when kids come, we do. There is this guy. He was selling luxury high-end cars in, I think, in Asia, in Hong Kong or something. You know what he did? He invited all his clients' kids to the David Copperfield show. And the clients loved it because all the kids, they love the David Copperfield show, right? So do something special for the kids. Try to think.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. That's a good example. Something to draw, whether the wife, the kids
Make
into
it,
something,
and
and we
I
can
mean,
always.
yeah, because it's cheap for the kids usually, right? A David Copperfield show for the kids is going to give you maybe $50, $60, but then the kids are going to die to go there, to go to the magic show. So you can be like, hey, we have a magic show for the kids, we have this and that. You can plan something that costs maybe $200, but it's going to be an amazing day for the kids. They will remember all their life. So
Okay,
try
got
to
it.
think, like, in your area, what is the most fun thing for kids that they will be blown away, that will remember all their life? And every time you have a client that have a kid, you tell them, we have this plan. We always plan something like this for the kids. And the guy is going to jump on a plane and comes to see you. And it, again, giftology, right? Like the book. It doesn't need to be expensive. It needs something memorable.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you so
That's all from.
much. Okay, let's go down. Boden.
Hi, Vincent and everyone.
Hi.
Thank you. It's really good session today, and I particularly like the invitation close. I like when you said we should have small conversation to the customer, to the client, and ask them like their budget in mind. But I have a little bit question from my real experience, but in another industry, more like in the retail industry, selling like luxury brand names, something like that. Um, Sometimes we pre-study our client, and we know that he or she has like a bigger dream about a particular item that we are going to sell. For example, if it would be, for example, maybe $100 million yacht, but we know exactly that they are so rich and they have much more dream about having a bigger boat, but they just tell us that they have this budget for their dream boat. How could we expand, or how could we trying to convince them to go for the bigger one, or well, like frankly ask them to spend more with us, but for their own good, because of course you said we are not selling things, we are helping them to achieve something. So I would like to have your thoughts, your advice, like how could we make them spend more for the bigger one that would be more profitable for us as well.
Excellent. So when people are buying, they're looking for two things. Sorry again. Trust and information. When they're looking for information, let's say they have a specific budget, they are looking for the information related to this specific budget. But there is an element of trust that is very important. They need to trust you, but they also need to trust themselves. And sometimes the more they're going to trust themselves, the more they're going to have belief in themselves, the more that their self-worth is going to be higher, the more they're going to want to have something that is more expensive, maybe, right? Last week I was giving you the idea of the guys that's going to Africa to hunt for lion, because he believes he's a great hunter. So if I make him believe that he's a great hunter, it's going to be like, hey, I'm going to go for the best hunt of my life in a different country, and I'll spend a lot of money. But if I make him feel like he's a bad hunter, he's just going to go to hide rabbit in the hill behind his house. So he's not going to have the same budget. So in response to your question, it's about having conversation with them, not necessarily about the product, but about them, and really find out what's their vision, right? What's your vision for your yacht? What's your vision? If you want to buy a kitchen from me, I'm going to be like, hey, what's a perfect day for you at home? Who is going in your kitchen? Tell me usually who hang out in your kitchen. Oh, my friends, my kids. Okay. And what's your vision for your dream kitchen? And now I'm going to try to depict you my vision for my dream kitchen. And my vision is going to be associated with my budget. So, but if you don't ask me for my vision, I'll be like, yeah, I just want a cheap kitchen. Yeah, I just want a cheap kitchen for myself. Sometimes my kids come. So in response to your questions, you cannot, the only reason they're going to spend more is if they have a better emotional connection with the product, which essentially is an emotional connection with themselves. So you gotta talk to them, ask them personal questions, ask them emotional based questions, and then they will open up, and then they will realize that they need a bigger boat.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to the office. Big table. The camera seems to be very high. You guys are far away. Okay, go ahead, guys. I don't hear anything. Hugo, you want to share something? Look like you guys are muted. Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
There we are. Okay.
Okay, Vincent, could you just go over the format slide again for me, please?
100% I can. So the formats is an acronym to that I really want you to remember when you build bond with clients. So let's go back to this specific one, which I believe it's toward the end. Okay, so format is family. You can write that down. Occupation, recreation, motivation, animals. And I know animals is probably more in North America and Europe, maybe not as much in Asia. And teams, sports team. Right. And again, North America, Europe's sports team is a little bit more important. But like, for instance, for me, animal, I got a golden retriever. It's part of my family. And team, I'm not too much into sports team. I like my kids' sports, but I'm not too much of a fan. So you will find that sometimes people, they don't have anymore, but they are huge in sport. Sometimes people, they don't have anymore. They're not huge in sport. So it depends. So recreation, what you do for fun. For instance, I like to smoke cigar. I like fine dining. I like travel. I like fishing, I like diving. And motivation will be, what is your motivation for going boating? Right? Again, people, is to escape stress, is to go fishing with my friend, is to go party with my friend, is to go connecting with nature, is to go taking photos of nature. People have different motivations. So this is a format, okay?
Yeah. And I just wanted to say that what you just said there at the end about the David Copperfield for kids, you know, even someone in hospital just thinking about real life situations, and it's so obvious, but very clever. Like even now we've got a deal going on at the moment, and the seller's just been admitted to hospital. We'll send them some fruit or something, you know. It's good.
Yeah, exactly, right? Small gesture, sending fruits to the clients, it's something small, but he's going to really appreciate. And sometimes we tend to forget the small things because we're busy in the day-to-day deal and needs and this and that. But sometimes it's a small gesture that really makes a big difference. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else around the table? Nothing. Okay. Thank you. Alistair, maybe?
Thanks, Vincent. Yeah, no question from my side. Just to say, I think the space close has definitely worked a lot for me. I think here in Asia, particularly working with first-time buyers and everything, they definitely don't want to be, how do you say, crowded, or how do you say, continuously being pushed or spoken to. So often I've let the boat do the talking, and I think it's worked well. And I think also they appreciate not working with a pushy broker as well. So
it's important because sometimes they will be like, oh, I'm going home. because you didn't leave them, and they could have bought that day, but
Yeah.
because you didn't leave them the space, they're like, I go home, and on the way home, they have a phone call from another broker, and they are buying the boat. So you will lose the sale because you forgot the space clause. So it's really important. The space clause is not optional. It's always, you always need to have in the back on your hand, like, hey, look, I had a great showing. They really love it. I need to give them a little bit of space because they need to. And every time you bought something like a important in your life, you always had this moment where either it's for yourself or for with your wife, your spouse, something that you got that time alone and say, okay, fine, yeah, I'll buy that. I really want to buy that. Okay, let's do it. But if you
I also
don't
like
have,
the book idea for Blue Mind. So I think that's a nice.
Oh yes,
idea
these
as
books
well.
are amazing, and I've offered quite a few of these books over the years, and they're always a nice touch. People say, "Oh, thank you so much. It means a lot." Because thank you, Teresa, and I believe that's. Oh, hi, how are you?
Hi, Vincent. I'm good, thank you. I don't think I have any questions for now.
No question for today. Perfect. Well, anytime you guys have a question, you can reach out. So I want to thank you for this awesome session number 6. Next week is session number 7. I will be on a holiday, but we're in a cabin. I ask, and there is like fast internet and an office and everything. So I will be live from a different location, but I will be there. And I look forward to it. Next week, we're going to talk about online presence, social media, AI, a lot of amazing stuff. I'm going to give you a calendar full of content, some content idea, some scripts, a lot of, it's going to be Christmas next week. I'll give you a lot of good stuff you can use on a daily basis to be more effective in your sales process, and you'll have enough content for the whole year. So I wish you guys an amazing day. Go out there, go sell some boats, and we connect next week. Talk soon, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk
Have a
soon.
nice
Bye.
day.